I'm going to take you live to the doors of Parliament House now, where Parliamentary Secretary Steven Ciobo is addressing the media.
Whatever you guys would present.
Well, conversations are ongoing with the Greens. They're high-level personal conversations that are taking place, so we'll see in due course. But clearly at the moment, the Greens are being more economically responsible than the Labor Party with respect to providing the markets with economic certainty and stability when it comes to Australia's debt ceiling.
You said a couple of weeks ago that there needed to be a debt ceiling. Now you're contemplating removing it. What's changed?
Well, I personally would like to see the continuation of a debt ceiling, but unfortunately the Labor Party remains steadfastly opposed to taking economically responsible actions. The Labor parties are trying to be opportunistic, and it's the Greens, the only party willing to come to the table to have a common sense discussion about what is in Australia's national interest.
So why do you want to keep a debt ceiling? What are the implications of removing it?
Well, the reality is that the Greens are willing to talk to the government to make sure that we provide the markets economic stability and certainty, and frankly that is a breath of fresh air compared to the Labor Party, who simply want to do in opposition what they did in government, which is to kick the can down the road, not care about Australia's national interest, not care about the fact that we are literally only a day or possibly a week or two away from breaching our current debt ceiling.
You would understand
that doesn't answer the
none of the asylum seekers that arrive in Australia by boat are going to be settled anyway. Why take away PPVs for people who already arrived? That seems cruel.
Well, let's never forget the legacy of the Australian Labor Party from when they were in government. Labor caused a situation where we had over 55,000 people arrive. The Coalition made it very clear that temporary protection visas were a key part of our policy arsenal should we have been elected at the last election, and we were. So we're now trying to honour our commitment to the Australian people. We're now attempting to reintroduce temporary protection visas, and the Labor Party wants to deny the Australian people their wish and this government's policy to do so. We see it as an important tool to getting Australia's border protection under control. We've had great success, nearly an 80% reduction in illegal boat arrivals, and for those that are already in Australia, approximately 33,000 people, we want to make it clear that if you've come by boat, you are not going to be staying here permanently, and that's a message that Labor and the Greens simply don't get.
Senator Brand has overstepped the mark in regards to... It's not going to stop other boats arriving. So
well, that's your assertion, and I certainly don't agree with it. So the reality is that for every person that's in Australia who's come through a people smuggler, if they get to stay in Australia, that is effectively an advertisement for people smugglers, and the Coalition will not sign up to that.
What did you think of the ASIO raids in Canberra yesterday?
Well, look, I'm going to leave any further comment in relation to those ASIO, the exercise of the warrant by ASIO, to the Attorney-General.
You don't think that Senator Brandis has overstepped the mark with this?
Well, as I said, I'm going to leave any further comment to the Attorney-General.
Well, the Attorney-General
Thank you.
The doors of Parliament House this morning, the Parliamentary Secretary to the Treasurer, Steven Ciobo. Of course, we do have plenty of arrivals this morning. If you'd like to see that, just tune into Sky News Multiview and just press red on your remote.
Right, Jim Callan.